lecturer at Queen's University, Belfast, and a Russia analyst. Good to have you on the show, Alexander. All right. From the Russian statement, everything seems to be in line. They had declared that they were conducting exercises to sort of gauge combat readiness. Now they're saying that the troops have demonstrated that they can ensure a reliable defense. I mean, is it that or just the limit of sort of saber rattling that President Putin thought he could get away with?
Well, I don't know what he thinks he can get away with, probably quite more than that. But basically, I think they decided that the message was sent successfully and they could go back. I think so far as message is concerned, there are several layers so far as the Russians are concerned. One is send a message to Ukraine not to mess with the Donbas because Russia will now officially said that if Donbas rebels are in danger, it will step in officially before they did so unofficially. And secondly, to the message to the West that we have the military predominance in the region, you can't do anything about it, and that this problem is not going to go away. You better do something to solve the issue of Donbas. Of course, they're talking about the Minsk process and the deal, which has been not implemented so far.
Okay. Yesterday, when I was listening to President Putin's State of the Union address to Parliament, he was clearly warning or issuing a warning to the West not to cross certain quote unquote red lines. I mean, looking at this announcement, how do those two overlap?
Well, I think the red lines, I mean, from Russia's past rhetoric and past actions are relatively clear. That's issue of NATO further expansion into the former Soviet territory, such as particularly Ukraine and Georgia. Issue of encouraging, the other remarks Putin was making, issue of citing Kipling and so forth, the issue of keeping the satellites on a leash and not let them bother Russia, because Russia will respond very forcefully if they did. So again, the issue of Ukraine, because essentially in the West, it's all built up from the Russian side. In Russia, it's presented that the latest military buildup was essentially a response to Ukrainian initial buildup over Donbas as well. So basically, this double message there that we mean business, and you better watch your step.
What is this? What will this double message lead to? What do you expect next to happen?
Well, it all depends on what is the takeaway from it by various parties. First of all, by Ukraine. Because in Ukraine you also have, a lot of domestic politics. You have falling ratings by the President Zelensky, and he's turned around, going increasingly towards more nationalistic policies and stance compared to what he was elected 2 years ago on. So that helps him to concentrate attention on himself as well. The issue of the West, again, testing its issue of Ukraine. Do you want to have what are the lessons will be learned? Do we just keep going and increasing military support for Ukraine, supplying it weapons and training its army? So basically, which eventually will most likely to have an open war with Russia. Is that what we ultimately want? Or do we want to dial back and possibly actually try to find a solution to the Donbas conflict, at least, if not anything else, which would be based around Minsk process, which been signed by everyone, including Germany and France, but hasn't really been implemented at all. Mostly because of Kiev's, it's basically agreement which favors Russia very heavily, or Russia's backed rebels very heavily. So that's lots of things to ponder and how to respond to that. I'm not sure what will be, but we'll see.
Okay. Alexander Titov, always a pleasure having you on. Thank you.